Adolf Hitler, one of history's most infamous figures, was born on April 20th, 1889, in Braunau am Inn, a small town in Austria-Hungary near the German border. His early life provides insight into the man he would become, though it is marked by complexities and contradictions. Adolf Hitler, father is Alois Hitler 1837190. 3 was a customs official with a stern and authoritarian personality. Alois had a tumultuous family life, having been born out of wedlock and later changing his surname to Hitler. Mother Clara Polzel 1860190. 7 was devoted and loving, deeply attached to Adolf. Clara was Alois's third wife and much younger than him. Adolf was the fourth of 6 children, but most of his siblings died in infancy or early childhood, leaving only him and his younger sister Paula. Adolf Hitler grew up in a middle-class household. His father was strict and sometimes abusive, often clashing with Adolf, who disliked his father's expectations that he follow in his footsteps and work in civil service. In contrast, Adolf was very close to his mother, who indulged him. Hitler initially performed well in school, but became rebellious and disinterested in academics as he grew older. His dream was to become an artist, a goal that his father dismissed as impractical. After his father's death in 1903, Adolf's school performance continued to decline. Adolf had a passion for art and applied to the Academy of Fine Arts in Vienna twice, in 1907 and 1908, but was rejected both times. His failure to gain admission to the Academy devastated him and fueled his feelings of resentment and inadequacy. After his mother died of breast cancer in 1907, Hitler moved to Vienna and lived in poverty, supporting himself through menial jobs and selling postcards. During his years in Vienna, 190-81913, Hitler was exposed to various political ideas, including nationalism, anti-Semitism, and social Darwinism. The city was a hub of political and ethnic tension, and Hitler began to harbor the extreme nationalist and racist views that would later define his ideology. In 1913, Hitler moved to Munich, Germany, partly to evade mandatory military service in Austria. His time in Germany solidified his identity as a German nationalist, despite being born in Austria. Hitler's childhood and formative years were marked by familial strife, personal failures, and exposure to radical ideas. These experiences played a crucial role in shaping his personality and worldview, eventually leading him down the path that would culminate in his leadership of Nazi Germany. After moving to Munich in 1913, Adolf Hitler's life took a significant turn with the outbreak of World War I in 1914. Here's what happened next. When World War I began, Hitler enthusiastically volunteered for the German army. Despite being an Austrian citizen, he saw the war as an opportunity to serve the German nation, which he idolized. He served as a messenger on the Western Front, a dangerous role that required delivering messages between the trenches under heavy fire. Hitler was promoted to the rank of corporal, but never rose higher, likely due to his lack of leadership qualities and social isolation. He was awarded the Iron Cross, first and second class, for bravery, an honor rarely given to soldiers of his rank. While Hitler found a sense of purpose in the army, the defeat of Germany in 1918 devastated him. He believed the German army had been stabbed in the back by politicians, communists, and Jews, an idea that became central to his later propaganda. Still the war, Hitler returned to a defeated Germany. The Treaty of Versailles, 1919, and the economic hardships it imposed created widespread discontent, which Hitler would later exploit. In 1919, Hitler joined the German Workers' Party, DAP, a small nationalist and anti-Semitic group. He quickly became a prominent member due to his oratory skills and charisma. By 1920, he helped the party rebrand as the National Socialist German Workers' Party, NSDAP, or Nazi Party, and designed the party's emblem. The swastika Hitler became the leader of the Nazi Party in 1921. He attracted followers through fiery speeches that blamed Jews, communists, and the Treaty of Versailles for Germany's problems. He formed the Sturmabteilung, SA, or stormtroopers, a paramilitary wing used to intimidate opponents and protect Nazi meetings. In November 1923, Hitler and the Nazis attempted a coup, known as the Beer Hall Putsch, in Munich to overthrow the Weimar Republic. After being appointed Chancellor of Germany on January 3, 1933, Adolf Hitler moved quickly to consolidate power and eliminate opposition. Here's what happened next. The German Parliament building, the Reichstag, was set on fire, The Nazis blamed communists for the act, using it as a pretext to suppress political opponents. The Reichstag fire decree was passed, suspending civil liberties like freedom of speech, press, and assembly. It allowed the Nazis to arrest thousands of communists and other critics. Hitler pressured the Reichstag to pass the Enabling Act, which gave him the power to enact laws without parliamentary approval. This act effectively made Hitler a dictator, as it dismantled the democratic structure of the Weimar Republic. The Gestapo, secret police, and concentration camps were established to silence dissent. Political parties other than the Nazi Party were banned. Trade unions were abolished, and their leaders were arrested. Hitler ordered a purge of the Nazi Party itself, targeting the SA stormtroopers' leadership, whom he saw as a threat to his power. Hundreds, including SA leader Ernst Röhm, were. This event consolidated Hitler's control over the military and the Nazi Party. When President Paul von Hindenburg died, Hitler merged the positions of Chancellor and President, declaring himself Führer, leader of Germany. The German military was required to swear an oath of allegiance to Hitler personally, not to the state or constitution. Once in power, Hitler implemented policies to strengthen his control and prepare Germany for expansion. Massive public works programs, like the construction of the Autobahn highways, reduced unemployment. Rearmament and military production were prioritized, violating the Treaty of Versailles. Joseph Goebbels, the Minister of Propaganda, used films, radio, and rallies to glorify Hitler and spread Nazi ideology. Schools were restructured to teach Nazi ideals, emphasizing racial purity and loyalty to Hitler. Anti-Jewish laws, like the Nuremberg Laws, 1935, stripped Jews of citizenship and forbade marriage between Jews and non-Jews. Jewish businesses were boycotted, and violence against Jews escalated, culminating in Kristallnacht, 1938, a night of widespread attacks on Jewish homes, synagogues, and businesses. Political dissidents, intellectuals, and minority groups were imprisoned or executed. Concentration camps, like Dachau, were used to detain perceived enemies of the state. Hitler's foreign policy aimed at overturning the Treaty of Versailles and expanding German territory. Germany invaded Poland, prompting Britain and France to declare war on Germany. This marked the beginning of World War II, with Hitler seeking to create a vast empire under Nazi control. Adolf Hitler's role in World War II defined his legacy as one of history's most destructive figures. Germany invaded Poland using the Blitzkrieg, lightning war, strategy, combining rapid movement of tanks, aircraft, and infantry. Within weeks, Poland was defeated and partitioned between Germany and the Soviet Union under the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. Hitler's forces swiftly invaded and defeated Denmark and Norway in April 1940, securing access to resources and naval routes. In May 1940, Germany launched a blitzkrieg against the Netherlands, Belgium, and France. By June, France surrendered, leaving Britain to fight alone. The Battle of Britain 1940. Hitler's attempt to subdue Britain through an aerial bombardment campaign failed, marking his first major setback. 3. Invasion of the Soviet Union. On June 22, 1941, Hitler launched Operation Barbarossa, the largest invasion in history against the Soviet Union. Despite initial successes, the German advance stalled as they encountered fierce Soviet resistance and brutal winter conditions. Hitler's regime systematically exterminated 6 million Jews and millions of other victims, including Romani people, disabled individuals, political prisoners, and homosexuals. The genocide was carried out through ghettos, mass shootings, and death camps like Auschwitz, Treblinka, and Sobibor. The final solution, the plan to exterminate all Jews, was formalized in 1942 at the Wannsee Conference Tower. Suppression of occupied territories and Nazi forces occupied much of Europe, implementing brutal policies to exploit resources and subjugate populations. Resistance movements emerged, but they were met with severe retaliation. At Stalingrad, 1943, the Battle of Stalingrad marked a turning point. German forces suffered a catastrophic defeat, losing over 800 troops. This defeat shattered the image of German invincibility and marked the beginning of the Soviet counteroffensive. 2. Allied advances. In 1943, the Allies invaded Italy, overthrowing Mussolini's regime. The Allied bombing campaign devastated German cities, targeting industrial and civilian centers. The Allies launched the Normandy invasion, Establishing a foothold in Western Europe and liberating France by August 1944, Hitler's forces were forced to fight on two fronts, severely weakening their position. Soviet army pushed westward, liberating Eastern Europe and entering Germany by early 1945. Point 3. The Battle of the Bulge, 1944-1945, Hitler's last major offensive in the Ardennes failed, depleting Germany's remaining military reserves, with Hitler's final days and death 1945-1. Fall of Berlin. By April 1945, Soviet forces surrounded Berlin, and the city was under constant bombardment. Hitler retreated to his Führer bunker, an underground bunker beneath the Reich Chancellery. Facing inevitable defeat, Hitler married his longtime companion, Eva Braun, on April 28, 1945. The next day, both committed suicide. Hitler by shooting himself and Braun by ingesting poison. Their bodies were burned on Hitler's orders to prevent them from being captured by Soviet forces. On May 7, 1945, Germany unconditionally surrendered, marking the end of World War II in Europe. Hitler's actions led to the deaths of over 70 million people, including civilians and soldiers. During World War II, the Holocaust remains one of the darkest chapters in human history. After the war, Nazi leaders were tried for war crimes at the Nuremberg trials, and Germany underwent a process of denazification. Thank you for watching this exploration of history. Understanding the past helps us learn valuable lessons and ensures we never repeat the mistakes of history. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more historical content. Let's keep learning and growing together. See you in the next video.